Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Gaur Premanande Hari Hari
Hari Bol. Thank you. Hari
Hare Krishna.
Are we ready, Prabhu?
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, thank you for joining the financial planning for devotees workshop. So, this is a 5-session workshop. So, before we turn the floor to His Grace Vamsidhari Gopal Prabhu, we will go through some like housekeeping like remarks. So please plan to attend all the sessions to get the maximum benefit. So this is the first session. We are going to be having like more more of them. So please do make sure that you are planning to attend like all of them. And also Prabhu wants to have these sessions as interactive as possible. So if you are going to be having any questions, feel free to answer ask the questions so that you can like answer them. And we request you to mute yourself when you are not speaking so that there is no like feedback coming. And whenever you are ready to ask questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions. You don't need to raise the hand or things like that. You can like unmute yourself because we do have more than 200 devotees registered for the session. So we don't know like how many will be directly joining the Zoom, but we have more than 200 devotees, right? So even if we are going to be having hand raised function and things like that, it might be difficult to manage. So please feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions. And because the Zoom can only handle 100 devotees, we are also right now going live on YouTube. So if you are on YouTube, please type your questions in the chat option. So at appropriate times, we are going to be relaying that information to Prabhu so that he can like answer the questions when devotees have. And His Grace Vamsidhari Gopal Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Bhaktichar Swami Maharaj, and he will be providing this workshop. And Prabhu is very, very knowledgeable in all the aspects of financial planning. So we request like all of you take advantage of that. And also Prabhu is very kind in terms of extending himself. So for we had a similar like workshop like last month. So like after the workshop, Prabhu extended kindly to work with anybody who is interested one-on-one. So in case if you have some personal questions or things like that, if you think that he can like assist you, you'd be like more than happy to like do that. So the main thing is that we want to make sure that all of you will get the full advantage of Prabhu's like association. So with that said, like I will request like Vamsidhari Gopal Prabhu to take over. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So thank you, devotees, for giving me this opportunity and your kind association on this weekend. It's a Kartik month weekend, very auspicious, and I know that many devotional services we are performing every day. And so I will try to make this session as relatable, not as relatable as Krishna Katha, but definitely as we proceed, I think I will set the context in a way that this session can also be taken into a spirit of a devotional service, because ultimately the objective is to make ourselves a better devotee and please Krishna with our service, and how we can use the tool which Krishna has provided in terms of money or the Lakshmi Devi in this material world to better utilize that to strengthen our spiritual practices and become a better devotee to please Krishna and Radharani ultimately. So just a little bit background, like this session, the conception of this session came from the inspiration by His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj. So we were attending the Vanprastha seminar given by His Holiness, and in that seminar, we came through these discussions about the concern devotees had that to go with a full-fledged Vanprastha ashram, the major hindrance devotees are facing is that the financial issues. Like if they want to retire, they are not in a position to retire completely and devote their whole time for the service because financially they are not ready. They have family, other responsibilities, and even themselves they are not able to maintain during the retirement year. So they're kind of elongating their working life and they are not able to take Vanprastha in a true spirit. So from there that I thought that yes, it is a good idea. Like I took blessing of Maharaj and then he provided me various feedbacks and guidelines about how to conduct this session. And so with that, I did this first session with New Jersey community last month. And just about myself, like I belong to Indore, Madhya Pradesh, and I work in an IT company as a project manager. And I started like my interest in personal finance planning started in year 2005. So it's almost 15 years now. And I have been giving this session to at my workplace and to like all the people who are in corporates. But then after coming to Krishna consciousness 3 years ago, then I stopped doing that. And then I was, for a time being, I was thinking that, yeah, means it's only needed for karmis and may not be so much relevant for devotees. But after attending that, then 3 years, around 2.5 years back, I came across the session by His Grace Anand Vrindavan Prabhu. He is from Mumbai. Many of you may know him. He's a His Holiness Radhanath Swami disciple. So he gave the similar session on personal financial planning for devotees and how to balance your personal like financial life with the spiritual life. And that motivates me a lot because I was kind of following this all the principles of personal finance to save money, invest money, and to become richer over a period of time. But I was not having the goal or the direction or the sense like why I am doing that. So with that session, actually, I got the real direction. So I consider him as my Siksha Guru, and his teachings on this matter has actually set the context and set the real purpose and the mood for this thing that why actually we are doing, why we need to do personal finance planning even for devotees, and what should be our mood and what should be our consciousness when we are dealing with money in this material. So whatever I speak, that would be based on the teachings which I got from him and some personal realization which I had over a period of 15 years. As I said that out of this 15 years, like 12 years was purely like a material person, karmi, whose only goal was to get more and more and more. And then in last 3 years as a practicing devotee. So I would be sharing my realization from both pre and post life and how that has made a lot of difference in my life. And if I say anything which is not as per my stature, so please forgive me because I'm very, very new and I don't know too much about the Krishna conscious philosophy as such. I'm still learning, I'm still practicing. So if I say something which sounds like beyond my stature, because you are all very seniors, and so please forgive me. I beg your forgiveness in advance for that. So just to make it more effective, some more like housekeeping things, like I would prefer if you can keep your videos on as much as possible so that it looks more interactive, and use laptop as far as possible because I would be sharing a screen and some sheets and all. So it will be easy to follow that on laptop versus mobile devices. And if I ask any yes or no kind of question, then maybe you can respond using the reaction feature of the Zoom. It's on the right hand corner at the bottom so that you can do thumbs up or something like that so that we can make it interactive without voice. And when I share the screen, you can use like on the right top, you see the view. So in that you can use that side by side feature with the speaker view, so that you see the screen and you can see me at the same time, so that it feels like that we are talking in person with each other. And as Prabhuji already mentioned about the questions, so I want to keep it interactive. So keep your questions, you can ask, but only request is that ask question relevant to that topic which we are discussing at that time, because as it's a 5-part seminar, I would be practically touching upon everything related to personal finance. So that's why it's very comprehensive 5-part seminar, so that we don't leave any one thing not covered. So more or less all your queries and topics would be covered in the seminar. So if you keep your question relevant to the topic which you are discussing at that time, so that would be helpful, so that we don't have to say that, okay, it's covered later and we'll come back to it, or things like that. So keep your question to the current topic, and then in the last session, if anything which is still not covered or answered, then we can take any questions at that time. So with that, let me just offer my Mangalacharan prayers, and then we can get directly into the topic. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणा रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Okay, so so the inspiration for this session also came from my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, because when I met with him first time 3 years back during New York Rath Yatra in 2017, so in that very first meeting we had some discussion, and he told me that like I was asking him question that I was in US for 5 years by that time, and then I was in two minds, like whether I should go back or I should stay here. And I asked him question related to that, and then he said that if you get like 6-7 like-minded people together, then and if you earn enough money, then after that you can go back and start a farm community in India, and then I will provide you all the help logistically, whatever you need. But that is one instruction which he has given. And during his lectures and the talks then over the years, he also mentioned few other things which kind of inspired me to conduct this session. Is that one thing he's repeatedly said that we want devotees in Vanprastha to come to temple, to live in temple. And but he said that we are like, as a community, as a ISKCON, it's very welcome thing, but you don't just come empty-handed, because all your life as a grahastha life you have spent earning money and working towards that. So when it comes to Vanprastha, then don't just come to temple empty-handed, saying that, okay, now I want to serve Krishna, but all my money and everything, whatever I have accumulated is for my family, my children, and so on, and I am here. So he gave that instruction that you plan in such a way that when you are ready, then you come along with your body, mind, and soul, but along with money also. Then another desire he had was like he was very keen to do youth preaching, and one area he was concerned with, that the devotee kids are not joining the movement as they should. Like mostly the devotee kids also get into the same pattern of getting education, getting college, and then going job, and then working in the material rat race for whole their life. And they are not coming and joining the movement as they should. So that was another of his concern, that current youth generation is not devoting full time to the movement. And so that kind of inspired me, that even if somebody is not ready to become brahmachari or devote himself completely to the movement right after his student life, though that is preferable, and but still he should plan in such a way that at least as early as possible he should be ready to hang his boot and then commit himself completely to the movement. So then as a parents or as a young students who are just coming out of college, they would be very helpful that if they can plan accordingly, that by the time they start earning 22 23 years of age, then by 45 50 years they should very comfortably do their household responsibilities, as well as be ready in a position to retire and completely devote themselves to the service. And then it would be a very ideal situation when, if we go to any community or any temple, then it's not just full of sannyasis and brahmacharis, but also full of vanprasthis as well. So that would be like ideal role model. Like anybody comes and visit the community or temple, they see this, all these happy vanprasthis staying there, completed all their household responsibilities, still young, vibrant, good in good health, and ready to do a lot of hard work and service and preaching and all those things. So that would be like a very very good example for the common society to inspire them to become Krishna conscious, not just for ourselves but for them as well. And one other quote which His Grace Anand Vrindavan Prabhu shared with me, which he heard from, which the instruction which he got from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, that best Grahastha life is one where one planned for his Vanprastha during his Grahastha life. So we are not like aspiring to become Vanprasthis when we reach 50 without any planning for it, because in that case that's not going to happen, because there are two aspects to it. Like that financial aspect is one thing, but another aspect is that what we are going to do once we are in a Vanprastha. So what service, what kind of task, what kind of activity, how I'm planning to engage myself completely after I done with my job. Because right now your job is keeping us busy for 8 hours a day, and if that 8 hours becomes free all of a sudden, then obviously then we may get into more trouble, because now it's empty mind, empty time, and we don't know what to do. So that is very very touching instruction which touch my heart, that yes, Grahastha life is to plan for Vanprastha in all the aspects, like how I want to engage myself, what aspect of a spiritual practice or the service which I want to perform, and at the same time set my family and financial situation in such a way that I can take that decision very wholeheartedly at that time. So what we are trying to achieve is that we will try to spiritualize the money. So my Guru Maharaj always said that what is the difference between being spiritual and being material? Because many times this question comes that I want to balance my material life and spiritual life, or this is material, this is spiritual. And Guru Maharaj nicely, very simply explained that everything can be material or spiritual. It's just that if you keep Krishna in center, then that is spiritual. If you keep yourself in center, then that is material. So that's very simple but very profound definition he has given. So if we keep Krishna in center in all our decisions when we make with money, then this becomes spiritualized. That is no longer a material thing. And then we reap all the benefits of a spiritual devotional service, even though externally we would be looking like doing like any other person does. But internally, our consciousness would be completely spiritualized in this matter as we keep Krishna in center. And as we progress, I will touch upon those things that what consciousness we can keep, which will allow us to remain focused in all aspects of dealing with money. So another example we can see in this, that in Mahabharat war, though both Arjun and Duryodhan both were fighting the war. Externally looking, both were doing the same action. But Arjuna's action was completely spiritual, while Duryodhan's action was completely material. Because Arjuna was fighting, keeping Krishna in center, and Duryodhan was fighting, keeping himself in center. So we will discuss all these things and as we move forward. And this is my very humble offering to my Guru Maharaj, and I hope that he pleased with this service along with my DT Sri Sri Nitai Gaur Chandra and DTs of Skan Chicago Temple Kishore Kishori ji. So this is my humble offering at their lotus feet. So like for us, everything starts with Bhagavatam. So anything, all our teachings or whatever principles we follow in our devotional life comes from Bhagavatam. So when we deal with money, how can we leave Bhagavatam behind? So if you look at Bhagavatam, then we see that all the aspects of dealing with money has been given in Bhagavatam. So there are many purports Srila Prabhupada has mentioned where he has given very practical instructions and very clear instructions about how one should go about dealing with money in their devotional life. So let me share my screen now. I think you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Canto 7, there is a chapter 14, which is Ideal Grahastha Life. So that chapter provides us very good insights into this matter, like how to deal with money. And in 4 or 5 shlokas there, in verses there, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned gems of instructions for us to follow. So let's go through those and see that how practically in today's time and circumstances we can follow those. So the first quote there, Srila Prabhupada mentioned in 7.14.5 is that we should live a very simple life, just maintaining body and soul together. So the key word here is maintaining the body and soul together. So what does really this mean, that keeping body and soul together? So soul does not want to leave the body because soul is attached to the body. This is our inherent desire that we want to live as long as possible. And that desire comes from the soul because soul is eternal. And that's why we want to keep this body also as eternal. So only if body is deteriorated to the extent that it cannot hold the soul, like soul does not feel that this body is fit enough for me to hold anymore, the soul leaves the body. And so this we see in same shloka, that Vansasi Jirnani Yatha Vihaya, that when body is torn, like Jirna so much that now soul cannot live in that body, then soul moves on to the next body. So it means that we need to keep our body healthy enough so that soul can live in it. That's what it means, body and soul together. So to keep the body healthy and comfortable, it means that we need good food, healthy, nourishing food. We need some shelter so that we can protect the body from severe weather and nature. So it means that, yeah, we need basic roti, kapda and makan. That's what we call in our Vedic culture, that these are the basic needs to keep the body alive, healthy and nourished. So the next instruction is not inventing unnecessary necessities is the basic principle of Vedic civilization. So another principle is that we live according to our needs and not our wants. and we don't create unnecessary necessities. So this is the key word here. So what is the necessary necessities? Like, as I said, that we need food, we need water, we need air, we need shelter, we need cloth. So these are all necessary necessities. And in today's time, if we see, then we can say that, yes, I need internet. Yes, I need a phone. Yes, I need laptop. Yes. So all these are necessary necessities. But what is unnecessary necessities? So I need phone. That is my necessity. But I need latest iPhone. That is unnecessary necessity. I need a home to live. That is necessity, but I need a 4-5 bedroom single family home in a posh locality. That is unnecessary necessity. We may have a TV so that we can watch kathas and we can watch kirtans and things like that on TV instead of our mobile devices. But having a 70-inch TV or a TV in each and every room of our house, that is unnecessary necessity. We need car to travel because there is no public transport, severe weather. But having a brand new car or the most expensive car in the market, that is unnecessary necessity. So that's where we have to draw the line, that what is my necessity which allows me to keep my body and soul together. Anything beyond that is unnecessary necessity. And we will see more practical examples of it as we move forward, that how we can practically differentiate between what is want and what is a need. Then Prabhupada mentioned that therefore, instead of hankering for more and more money, a sincere devotee of the Lord tries to invent some ways to earn his livelihood. And when he does so, Krishna helps him. So again, keyword here is Krishna helps him. But when we are living in such a way that instead of hankering for more and more money, we adjust our life in such a way that we just have some means to earn our livelihood, then Krishna will provide all the necessary help. And I will quote some personal example, personal realization, which I had in my life in last 3 years, like how Krishna has personally helped me in this aspect. And my realization has become so profound after that, that I could personally feel that, yes, this is Krishna only who is helping me. No, like otherwise it's not possible. So especially when I bought my house last year. So when we come to that section, I will share some things on that. So to attract Krishna towards us, to get his mercy and to see that he helps us in our devotional practice, we have to follow this principle that instead of hankering for more and more, we have to adjust our life so that we just have some means to our livelihood till end of our life, and that's it. Then in further verses in 7.14.8, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that if one has more than one required for his necessities, then the extra money should be spent for Krishna. So by Krishna's mercy, we may get more than what is needed for us, right? So once we have adjusted our life in such a way that we are just living based on our necessities, not unnecessary necessities, then whatever extra we get, we should spend for Krishna. And Rupa Goswami has mentioned that, and Srila Prabhupada also mentioned that 50% of our income should be used for service of Krishna. And I read that in earlier days, like many devotees who joined Srila Prabhupada, they practically gave everything, whatever they earned, to Srila Prabhupada to run the movement, because initial days there were not so much facilities. So devotees living with Srila Prabhupada in New York, they gave everything, whatever they earned from their job. So we'll see practical ways like how we can do, because once we start living in that way, then obviously we will have surplus, and whatever surplus we have, then we can spend for Krishna service. And then whatever accumulation we are doing just for the safety of our future retirement life, even from that we can have more, like we will definitely have more, where we can even give large one-time donation for charity, for service of Krishna. Then Srila Prabhupada mentioned further is that materialists are inventing so many artificial necessities, and those who have money being allured by such artificial necessities. So if we are not focused on Krishna and we are not keeping Krishna in center, then like ordinary material person, what we are going to do, that we are going to spend our money on all those artificial necessities. Because in today's world, each and every company, each and every entrepreneur in the world is coming up with ways how to make people spend more and more. So that's their whole objective, and that's the whole objective of the economy today's. So we have to protect ourselves from that we don't fall into that. And I will tell you like how we will use that, like what they are doing. We will use that to strengthen our Krishna consciousness, but not fall prey to them, to their tricks. So we have to keep this consciousness that we don't fall prey to these materialistic tricks and advertisement and propaganda that yes, everything is necessity. You have to have this latest gadget, you have to have this latest thing on the market, otherwise your life is doomed, that kind of fear. But we don't have to fall prey to that. Then further in 714.10, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that one should not engage himself in severe hardship. One means of livelihood should be extremely simple. So again, this is very important principle. Here the key word is severe hardships. So many a times it happens that just to earn our livelihood, we take so much burden on ourselves that we are just traveling from one place to another. We are moving from one city to another. We are moving from one job to another, and we are taking all kind of emotional, personal, physical, all kind of hardship we are taking on ourselves. So Prabhupada recommend that is not needed, because just to earn our livelihood, we don't have to get through this hardship. Simple living, if we are living within our necessities, just for our necessities, then that can be done anywhere. For that, we don't have to do severe hardship. And especially he was very, very particular about many places he mentioned that this ugra karma, that people living in big cities and they just spend too much time traveling from one place to another, and they spend like 10, 12, 13, 14 hours of their day just to earn the livelihood. So where is the time for devotional service and sadhana after that? So that's also we have to see that if we are into that situation where we have to do severe hardship, then we arrange our life, we take some decisions so that we make it simpler, not having too much hard work in terms of just earning the money. We do hard work to serve Krishna and to devotees, but not to just earn money. Then in 7.14.16, Srila Prabhupada mentioned, if money and education are not engaged in the service of the Lord, these valuable assets must be engaged in the service of Maya. So again, very important principle here he is sharing that. So we have two choice. Like as I said, that my Guru Maharaj said that money can be spiritual or it can be material. So to make it spiritual, we have to keep Krishna in center. So if you are not using this asset or this energy or this resource Krishna has provided us in service of Krishna or the devotees, then ultimately it will be used in service of Maya. Because Lakshmi is chanchal. It cannot just remain idle at one place. So if you are not using it, then ultimately it will be used in service of Maya. And we will see it later, like how it will be. So just to tell you that money has three destinations. So number one, either you bhog, like either you use it for your sense gratification. Number two, nash, like plundering, like either it will get destroyed, like you will lose it in the hands of some plunderers in this material world. And third is dan, like charity. You use it for charity. So these are the only three destinations. So for us, sense gratification does not count because we don't want to engage into unnecessary necessities. So we use it only for the necessary necessities. Plundering, definitely we don't want because it's hard-earned resources. Our resource, we want to use it for Krishna's service. So we have to make sure that we follow this principle. We don't want to give our money for service of Maya. We want to use it either for our necessities or whatever left is for Krishna's service. Okay, so with that context, like with that principles in mind, which Srila Prabhupada has gave us, this whole seminar we will guide on those principles. So we'll keep that principles in mind, whatever we are discussing. So that will help us to appreciate, and that will help us to keep focused, and that will help us to ultimately become more conscious in terms of money decisions. How should we take it, and how it can be in line with my spiritual practices. So with that in mind, the objective of this session is that prepare a financially stable Vanprastha or retired devotional life. So as I said, that there is a big concern in our community that people are not ready to retire financially, because in this question I asked in registration, and almost 70% of the people said that financial thing can be hindrance for their Vanprastha ashram. So then what we are going to do in this seminar, learn the practical tips so that we can adopt a simple living, high thinking without compromising basic material comfort. So we are not going to say that, okay, live under the tree, or, just have one-time meal, or don't have any car, just follow on your foot and things like that. But with basic material comfort, like simple living, only what is necessary, we will get all that basic material comfort. We can get all that basic material comfort, but keeping Krishna conscious values and lifestyle in mind. And again, like Vanprastha is for austerities. It's not for enjoyment. It's not for living comfortable life. So with that in mind, we just don't want to create luxuries for us to enjoy in retirement life, because retirement life, like Vanprastha ashram, is basically for austerity. So we have to keep that in focus, that we keep minimum necessity so that we have enough money to carry our responsibilities during the Vanprastha period, and we don't depend on anybody, whether it's our family or our children or temple or community, and we can sustain ourselves comfortably. So that is the objective. And especially with US income, like in this community, like in this forum, most of us, like all of us, are earning US income, and those who have come from India, most of us are like that, have come with a desire to earn more in US, because I think practically that is the case. That was the case for me, and maybe it is the case for most of you as well. So, and based on a survey, it says that more than 65% of the people in US earn less than $50,000 a year. And especially those who came from India with engineering degrees and having jobs in technical field, they earn more than that. So of the world's most wealthiest country, if I am in the top 25 to 30% of the people, then there is no reason for me to work till 60, 65 years. And if I'm doing that, then I'm seriously doing something wrong. Because even after earning that much, if I keep slogging till the age 60, 65, or even beyond that, then it means that there is something wrong which I have done in my working life, that I'm into that situation. So we don't want to fall prey to that. So we'll see that how we can avoid that thing. And again, one thing we have to keep in mind, that when we came here, we did not came here to become US citizen. Like especially for me, I can say that first time whenever anybody come here on immigration visa, there is no surety that how long we are going to remain in US. It may be 1 year, 2 years, we don't know. So citizenship is far, far away dream, right? So that is not in our mind when we came here. But as we come here, slowly and slowly and slowly we get trapped. So that is the perfect trap of Maya. That once we land here and then we spend more and more time here, then green card, citizenship, that becomes our ultimate objective. And to fulfill that objective, we keep ourselves entangled more and more and more and more. So just go back to that first year of your life when you came to US and think about that time, that did I really came for this year? I came here maybe just to earn some more, maybe pay off my liabilities in India. Maybe I had house loan or something. I just want to pay that off, or I want to explore the world. I want to see the new place or something like that. So for that purpose, I came. That purpose was fulfilled long ago, but still I am being here. So for what? So just think about that. So we will achieve this particular objective by creating financial awareness. And awareness means that it's not a secret knowledge, means it's a material knowledge, so it's available everywhere. But just is in this concise format, and with this uh, seminar, we will just create financial awareness so that we know all the aspects of financial planning, so that we are not ignorant in the field of personal finance, and we make wrong decisions due to that. And by becoming financial literate, so by becoming financial literate means that know the basic principles of finance. So many people have this aversion towards financial matters because they think that this is not my cup of tea. As soon as we start talking about numbers and money and things like that, they raise their hand that I'm totally out of it. But I will tell you that to become financial literate or to get the financial sense, you don't need any knowledge beyond middle school mathematics. And we all have that. So we can become financial literate. It's not rocket science. It's very simple. And then set definite financial goal and plan to achieve them. So without goals, we cannot go anywhere. So we have to set certain financial goals, and we have to set a definite plan for achieving the same. So our goal should not be like a generic goal that I want to retire at 60. No, that goal doesn't mean anything. We want to have a specific goal that by the age of 50 or by the age of 60, I want X amount of money so that I can live comfortably till the X age, like 85 or 90 or whatever. And we will talk with real hard numbers, that this much exactly I need, this is the inflation, this is the cost of living, this is my expenses. So based on that, this is what I need, and to achieve that, what I need to do step by step. So that should be the kind of goal. And then we'll know all the options about the investments, like what we can do to achieve that particular goal, and how and what we can use. So money is just a tool. So if you have any tool and if you don't know how to use it, then you can hurt yourself. It may be as small as tool as a hammer or as a screwdriver. So if you don't know how to use it, then we can hurt ourselves. So same is with money. It's just a tool, and if we know that how to use it, then we can use it better, we can use it more efficiently, and we can do wonders, we can get fantastic results out of it. But if we don't know how to handle it, then definitely we can harm and hurt ourselves and others in the process. And its place is in the pocket, not in our heart and head. So money should not be in your heart and in your head. It's just a tool to live in this material world. So we just use it like that. So if we keep that in mind, then most of our things will become very simple. And last thing, get professional help if needed. So this is also very important, because I have noticed that when it comes to personal finance matter, we all think that I know everything, or I am the decision maker, or even if I am not, then I'm not going to talk to anybody about it. We want to keep it very secret, But this is not the case. If we feel ourselves unqualified, or if we feel ourselves that not knowledgeable, or if we feel that we need some help, then we should reach out for that help. We go to doctors, we go to lawyers, we don't fight our case. If we get sick, we don't try to cure ourselves. We may try some home remedies, but as soon as it's not working, we seek doctor's help. And when we go to doctor, we disclose everything. We just don't hide things. Otherwise, doctor cannot do efficient treatment. He cannot do right treatment. So like is the case with this also. If you are in trouble, you know that, okay, I'm not getting any hang of it. I don't have any hang of personal finance matters. I hate numbers. I cannot deal with numbers. Or somehow it's not just working for me. Then seek help, and be honest and open when you seek help. Otherwise, if you hide something, you say something, and if you don't say another thing, then you will not get the right advice, and then you may not get the right result. And then you cannot blame doctor for that because you did not disclose all the facts. If you get the wrong treatment or if you get some reactions, he asked you, do you have any allergies? And if you don't say you have allergy, and if you get some medicine and get some reaction, then doctor need not be blamed, right? So get some professional help if needed, but be very open, honest, and about that. And then objective why we are doing all this is that ultimately we want to serve Krishna and devotees stress-free and wholeheartedly. That we want to look for opportunities to help. We want to look for opportunities to do charity, and not just wait for somebody ask and that Prabhu, do this, can you do this, can you do that? So that should become our inherent internal motivation that, hey, Krishna has given me so much and I am in control. I am doing things nicely. I'm not in stress. So how can where I can help? Krishna has provided this resource to me. So where I can go and help. So with that mood, if we do any charity with no tinge of grudge in our heart, then that is real charity. And that will give joy. That will give bliss to us. And then most important thing is reduce attachment to money. So attachment to money can be reduced in few ways. Like one is that if we are in control, then we may think that yes, my attachment is little bit less, that I am in control. I know how much I'm earning. I know how much I'm spending, where I have invested, so that in years to come, where I will be. So I feel in total control. So, and all my material risks are covered. So that will give you some confidence, but that is not the real thing. The real thing to reduce the attachment to money is to firmly situated in Krishna consciousness. Because any attachment, be it money, family, land, city, nation, community, whatever, that can go away or uprooted completely only by bhakti. Otherwise, it cannot. And I tell you my example, because as I said that I started this in 2005. By 2012, I kind of achieved whatever I thought. I started my goal in 2005. I chart out my plan. I set out certain goals. And by 2012, more or less my goals were achieved, or I was on a very right track to achieve those in next few years. But still I was not satisfied. Still I was not happy. Still I was hankering for more. And I was kind of getting, like as I said, Prabhupada mentioned that you start serving Maya, and then I got into spending money into wrong things and wrong habits. So then in last 3 years, now slowly that thing has started changing for me. Like now slowly I'm getting into that consciousness or that mood that yes, now it does not matter that much as it was before. Because now I'm trying to shift my consciousness. And again, like I have a long way to go, but still slowly I'm trying. And I need all your prayers so that one day I can completely reduce my attachment to money. And it just become a pure tool in my hand just to serve. So that's why it's very, very important that we keep our focus very, very clear that we are not earning more money for more sense enjoyment and to more entangle ourselves in this material world. Because more money, more problems. That is another famous saying. And that is practically true if we are not handling it properly. So we don't want to earn more and more or become more and more wealthier to create more problems for us. We want to simplify it for us. So for that, again, like a strong sadhana and a strong association is very, very important so that we remain focused all the time. Okay, and then that thing will help, that Krishna helps you. That's what Prabhupada mentioned, that he will dictate and then you just act. We just become instrument in hands of Krishna that yes, whatever you want to do with this money, I have it. You dictate me and I just act. You dictate me how I should spend it, where I should give it, and then I just act. So that would be the real thing, that how we reduce our attachment. Okay, so now we come to agenda. So as it was shared before, also. So we will cover various things. So practically we'll touch upon everything. So just to brief that we will discuss some more introductory topic like some myths and information about money, like mindset. It's more about what our mindset is and how we should deal with that. Then the most important thing will come to budgeting, that how that is the very, very important, the very first thing and the most important thing which we should focus on and which we should do. Because if we don't do that particular thing right, then all other things beyond that is not going to make any difference. Then we'll discuss about the power of compounding, and then pay yourself 10% first principle. Then we'll get into the investment options like ETFs, mutual fund, shares. Then we'll get into the plannings like how to do retirement planning, how to do planning for owning our home if you are in a rented apartment right now, how do plan for funds for children's education and marriage, and then how do we cover all our material risk with the help of insurance. How do we do credit card management, because that is another tool provided by this material world which can go wrong if we don't do it right. And then last we will discuss about making a will and estate planning. That is also another very important topic and will help us to remain focused on Krishna, and we'll see how. Then we'll discuss about save to buy, like before buying any big thing, why and how we should save. Then real estate investment, because for many of the people, that was the only, like for generations and generations, real estate was the only form of investment. And especially for people like us who are in US earning more, saving more, we get a big chunk of money at a time. So what to do with that? Since we don't know much about any other options, we invest it in real estate and then we get into all kind of troubles. So we'll see about that. Then we'll talk about the money saving tips in a day-to-day life on like grocery, online shopping, utilities, how we can save more on day-to-day things so that we can keep this consciousness going all the time, that I'm not doing spending anything on unnecessary necessities. I'm doing it only on necessities, and that too inefficiently, right? I don't want to pay something more for which I can get the same quality, same service, same thing in something less. So just be little awareness can save us a lot on a day-to-day life also. And then we'll discuss about the responsibilities among various family, like a spouse, how the both spouse should act in terms of responsibility, and then how we can keep staying informed going forward forever, because again, as I said, that it's a material knowledge, it keep on changing. So we have to stay informed as it changes. And then we'll talk about giving, like how and with what consciousness we can plan for. And then we will wrap up with more questions and answers towards the end. Okay, so let's get into our current situation. So what do we currently do? So we currently, like most of us, like for devotees, it may not be true, but otherwise, most of the people in this world, they do plenty of spending. And the major spending source is on recreation, because again, on necessities, you can't spend more, even if you want to, because necessities like food, shelter, and clothes are not the major part of your expenses. The major part of somebody's expenses may be on recreation. Like again, for devotees, it is not that much true, because we don't indulge into all those other activities. But for common people, all these entertainments and the recreation activities, they take most of their money every month. So how do we spend, or the people generally spend? That wants become needs, and that's how we spend more and more. So as I said, that there are many things in the market which are available, and their objective of those people is to sell to you and make sure that they create that kind of sense that it is a necessity. So we fall prey to it sometimes, and then we say that yeah, it's our want. How I can live without it? So I need to get it. So, and then not so for devotees, but again, for some other people, maybe shopping is the source of entertainment. People just like, I know for myself, like when I came to US, that used to go to mall almost every weekend. And that was like just for the, nothing else to do. So what to do? So go to mall here and there, doing window shopping, but end of the day, end up spending money on things which I don't need. And as I said, that wherever you see, there are plenty of avenues to spend. The moment you get out of your house, you can just spend on anything. There are so many things now in the market available on which you can spend your money. And then easy finance is available. Even if you're not earning, easy money is available everywhere. So you can buy on credit cards, on personal loans, or so even if somebody does not have money, he doesn't restrict himself from buying, spending. So that is the problem. And another thing is that saving is very haphazard. Like there is no planned saving as such. So mostly saving may be tax oriented. Like if you get some incentive that if you save this much, then you will get save on some tax. So that is kind of motivation to save. Or sometimes we save, but we save in risky or in liquid asset. Illiquid asset means which you cannot convert into money very easily on a day's notice, right? So real estate is kind of that investment that you cannot turn it into cash overnight. It takes its own time. So real estate is called illiquid asset, while this mutual fund, bank account, FDs, these are called liquid asset because you can get access to that money overnight if you want to. Or people just keep cash in bank. And after last session, I came across with many devotees who called me and approached me saying that, Prabhu, since last many years, we are not doing anything, just keeping our cash in bank and earning nothing. Because in US now, interest rates are almost zero. So all your money is just sitting there without earning anything. And then again, we use insurance as a saving tool sometimes, but again, the fact is that even after doing that, we are severely underinsured. And we will see that when we cover the insurance topic, how it is. So purpose of insurance is to cover yourself adequately so that once that risk materialize, you are not put into any further risk financially. But the fact of the matter is that many people are severely underinsured as far as especially life insurance is concerned. And final thing is that there is no sense of direction or clarity for long term, that why I am doing all this, right? Where I want to reach, what I want to do ultimately. So we are earning every month, we are spending, we are saving some here and there, but there is no long-term sense of direction or focus. So we will set that. We'll set that focus and then we will get an action plan to achieve that. Okay, so now let's discuss some mindset or some things which we believed so far about money. So it's number one problem for most of the people. It's on top of the mind of almost everyone. Like hardly I think that somebody can claim that, oh, money is not a problem for me at all. It is a prime reason for relationship issues. Again, may not be relevant so much for devotees, but otherwise it's a very prime reason for relationship issues, whether it's fathers, children, or husband, wife, or brothers, sisters. For ages and ages, people have fought over money, you know. Then major problem is insufficient money for retirement. Again, like more than 65% of the people, they live paycheck to paycheck in US, and almost 70% of the retirees, they don't have anything except their social security paycheck in their retirement. So they go to retirement with almost nothing in savings. And that is the reason that you see so much elderly people are working in US. Anywhere you go, you find people in their 60s, 70s, or even beyond 70s are working. In my office itself, there are many people who are more than 70, 75 years of age, but they are still working. You go to even retail stores, you will find cashiers and shopkeepers, like those where those positions seniors are working. So that is the reason, and money is the reason for stress, because financial problems cause stress both in your relationships and personally as in your life. And then again, it causes low self-esteem, because ultimately it brings your confidence down, and that causes low self-esteem. And then it denies option, because what is money basically? So money, we trade the money to get things, and the whatever options, like you have multiple choices anytime you want to go buy something. And if you have money, then you have all the options. But if you don't have money, then you have to go with the options whatever you can afford. So in that way, it restricts your options. You cannot make the best decision. You take the decision based on money, not based on what you want to really do, right? And this is another quote, that success or failure in anything is determined by the correctness of principle you apply. So all the principles which we have discussed so far, if we correctly apply those, then success is guaranteed, because it's coming from Srimad Bhagavatam, it's coming from Srila Prabhupada. But if we don't apply it correctly, then we may meet with failures. And so then we have to check whether it's because of only because we are not applying those principles correctly, we are failing. Otherwise, there is no reason to fail. So some more facts, just 9 out of every 10 divorces in US are over money. As I already said, that only 3 out of 100 people age 65 are financially independent in US. And again, here financially independent means that you are not dependent on any active income for your retirement, during your retirement years. It means that you don't have to spend your time, your energy to get that income. When you reach that stage, then it is called as financial independence, because it's not like you are dependent on your children and you call yourself as financial independent. No, you are dependent on your children, so you are not financially independent, right? And nowadays there is a movement which is called a FIRE movement, like financially independent retire early. So that is a very catchy word nowadays, that everybody want to be on this FIRE movement where they want to be financially independent and retire early. But without a sense of direction, it's not going to go anywhere, because as I said, that by retiring early, what you're going to do, if you don't have that plan, then it's not going to work anyway. But we have that plan. So we have that advantage, that we have a serious purpose, we have a serious goal, that after becoming financially independent, I want to serve Krishna, I want to serve community, I want to serve Srila Prabhupada, my Guru Maharaj. So with that goal in mind, and if we become financially independent, then we will have a successful FIRE movement, and then we can set examples for others to follow. As I said, that many people live paycheck to paycheck in US, and time and money are the most used and misused resource in life. And again, we heard this in Bhagavatam many times, that you can't buy a moment of time with millions of dollars also. So, and same is with money. Once it is lost, it's lost. Once it is gone, it's gone. And if we misuse it, then it's gone. So we have to make sure that we use both these resources well, so that we get all the necessary success in our both material as well as spiritual lives. And both of these things, if we don't use it properly, so as Prabhupada mentioned in this purport, that it will be used for either sinful activities or sense gratification. So if you're not using your time for devotional service, we would be using it on some mundane entertainment or some gossiping or this and that. And similarly with money, if you're not using it for right purpose, ultimately it will get destroyed or it will get spent on sense gratification. That's it. There is no other way about it. Okay, so now let's discuss some myths and truths. So first myth is that more money will solve all my money problems. Many a times we think that people say that, like I was having this same thing, that I go to US, I get this much money, then all my problems are solved. I will be debt free. I will not have any further complications. I will have saved enough for my future. So all my problems will be solved. But key is to spend less than what you earn. Because if you spend more than what you earn, even if you are a Birla, Tata, Ambani, your problems will not be solved. And even if you are a vegetable vendor, say, and if you spend less than what you earn, you will not have any money problem. So key is always to spend less than what you earn. Then that's why budget is very important. So, but people have this notion that if I follow the budget, then it's inhibiting, like it limits my option. I'm too restricted. I cannot just follow budget. I am earning so much. Why I have to follow budget? But the truth is, if you follow budget, it gives you greater control and choices, because now you know where your money is going, what you want to do with it. So then you can make better decisions. Then you can make better choices that will give you better result. Then again, it was an old mentality and saying that bank balance is in my test of spending. I have a huge bank balance. It means that I can spend that much. But bank balance cannot forecast unexpected. You may have millions of dollars, but if you not have proper insurance, you have not taken care of all your material risk, health, life, house, car, this and that, then all that money can wipe off in a moment to take care of those unnecessary, like unexpected things. So the truth is, you may have bank balance, but you have to cover your risk as well. And then most of the time we give this solace to ourselves that I spend according to my needs. Like without putting that budget exercise with pen and paper, looking at your statements, if you're not doing that, then in back of your mind, we always think that, yes, I'm spending according to my needs. Where I'm spending more, and especially once we become devotees and we stop eating outside, we stop going to restaurants and movies and vacations and this and that. So all those expenses are anyway cut off. Then after that, we think that, yeah, I'm spending according to my needs, where I'm spending more. But we will see that even with that, we are spending more. And that's why we see that I'm not able to save more than 10% of my income. And I already told that most of the Indians who are working in technical field, we are the one of the most fortunate people as far as earning capacity is concerned. But still, if we are saying that we cannot save more than 10% or 15% or 20%, then it means that we are spending not according to our need, but according to our emotions. Then another notion people have is that debt gives me choices, otherwise I will wait. If I don't take this loan, then I have to wait forever. If I take loan, I can buy this car now. Otherwise, I wait 4 or 5 years. It will take years for me to save that much. If I don't take loan, I wait forever. But the moment you take loan, you are now obliged. That particular amount every month now you are obliged to pay for certain years. So then it reduces your future options. That much money is already blocked now to repay of that loan. It means that all your future options are restricted by that much amount. While if you don't have any loan to repay, then whatever you are earning, you can do whatever you want with that in a most efficient manner. But the moment you take loan, that thing is blocked. So that reduce your future options. And then money is intrinsically valuable. That is a very false notion. Money is just a piece of paper. It has no value of its own. Take the example of these South African countries like Zimbabwe and one other country I just read few days before, that their currency devalued so much that even if the millionaires of those countries have become beggars overnight. So money can only be traded for things of value. That is its value. If you have $100 and if you can buy something from that $100, that's why it's value. If you go tomorrow and you say that $100, you cannot buy anything, that $100 piece of paper is of no value. So only if you can trade it with things of value, it has its value. And the final thing, again coming back to the same point, that we may think that my personal financial situation is the result of circumstance and the events out of my control. We may say that yes, I born in such a such family, my background was this, I did not get job at that time, I was in that city at that time, oh, I lost my job due to, certain situation at that particular time, or I lost my money in such and such event or such and such thing. And we try to blame all that for the situation which we are in. But the truth is that financial situation is a result of decisions which are made based on money principles I believe in. Because whatever situation we are today is only result of that. That if I believed in principle of simple living, high thinking, if I believed in principle of spending less than what I earn, if I believe in principle of not spending on unnecessary necessities, if I believe in principle of not spending on mundane sense gratification, recreation, versus all the opposites of it. So that will make the difference about your personal financial situation. Not like I had job, or I had earned this much, or I did not earn this much, or I was in this city, I was in that city, I had this, that. No. It's only depend on the principles which we believe in. So again, emphasis on that going forward, if we keep all these principles in mind, and if we apply those principles to each and every topic, each and every section of this presentation, of this seminar, then we'll get the fantastic result, like outcome and understanding out of it. And then if we apply that, then definitely results will be there, and that I can vouch from my personal experience, because I'm not saying anything which is I personally have not realized as far as this money matters are concerned. So everything which you are going to discuss is going to be very practical, provided you believe in these principles. Because if you don't believe in principle, then some things may sound impractical to you. But if you believe in principle, then definitely everything is very practical. Okay, so now put that into action. So when we say that we spend as per our necessities and not on unnecessary necessity, so how we should spend our money? What should be the priority of spending our money? So let's see. So the necessities which cannot be compromised is food, cloth, shelter, utility, insurance premiums. So these I must spend on to keep my body and soul together, to meet my basic necessities. This is what I need to spend on. And this is my short term, like every month kind of thing, that every month I have to spend on this. And again, we will see how to spend efficiently on all of these categories. It's not like that I spend on food, clothes, and utilities. So we will see how to spend on this so that we are not overspending, but we are spending and saving also. And then for beyond 1 year goals, what I have to spend or what I have to save on is my retirement, saving for children's education, maybe home if I don't have already, maybe car, which I want to buy in next few years. So these are again kind of basic necessities for which I have to plan, I have to save. And this could be my immediate goal or maybe years goals, years down the line, but still I have to save on this. And then when after this, beyond this first line, then everything gets into the zone of unnecessary or nice to have kind of things. So vacations, if you go on spiritual retreats, that is fine. But if you go on lofty vacations, then again, it's unnecessary. New furnitures, how much you can decorate your house, it doesn't matter. It's not necessity. You can get furniture, old furniture also, that serves the purpose. New mobile every other year, as I said earlier, like TV in every room, all this is not necessity. You can work with the old mobile. Like I am using that Samsung S5 since last 6 years without any problem. And that too I bought second hand. So there is no need to go for latest model every other year or every year. eating out, again, that is not too relevant for us. But again, His Grace Anand Vrindavan Prabhu has mentioned this, that even spending on Govindas is not necessary if you don't have the means. So he chastised one devotee. He shared that story in one of his Sunday class few weeks back, that he chastised one devotee who he got his job, and as a gratitude, he wanted to treat other devotees, so his mood was just to serve, that he felt gratitude towards devotees and he wanted to treat them. So he took them all to Govindas and he spent 10,000 rupees in that. And then after that treat, Prabhuji chastised him. He said that you spent 10,000 just on this. If you would have saved it, then it would have become 10 lakh rupees in 25 years. So you just wasted that much amount of money. For what? Instead, you could have called us at your home, or we could have cooked. You could have just told us that, hey, I want to treat, let's Prabhuji, let's have a get together, let's have some kirtan and prasadam. And we could have come to your home, we could have cooked together, and we could have a very nice prasadam and along with kirtan and everything else. So just think about that, because most of the time we think that we are doing devotional service, but internally at a very subtle level, it may be a sense gratification. It's not really devotional service. Then again, second car, second TV, just for some hardship, you have to adjust your schedule or something. As soon as your children ready to drive, you want another car. If both husband and wife are working and at the same time they are going, then it's fine. But just for the sake of, hey, I just don't want to lose my independence, I want my car. If you want to go anywhere, you drive your own car, and then you get second car for that purpose. And this is a financial crime, paying penalty on credit card bills. We make spending, if we spend on credit card, we are not in a position to repay every month, and then we keep on paying interest because we are carrying over that debt on us, then it's a financial crime. You should never ever get into that situation. And some very expensive cars, so that is totally useless for us. Okay, so with that, now we will start into budgeting. So before that, I would just like to take a pause if any comments or anything anybody want to make.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Chaitanya Kishore Das Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
One quick question. Are you going to share this slides with us later?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, at the end of the session, I will share the entire presentation.
Okay, thank you. That's all I am.
Yeah.
This is the Chaitanya Sundar Prabhu. Is the recording also going to be made available, Prabhu?
Yes, it's recorded on YouTube, so those sessions will be there on YouTube.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Shruti Priya Devidasi.
Yes,
My question is, where does the medical emergency expenses go?
We'll talk about that when we talk about insurances, Mataji.
Okay,
so we'll
sure.
cover that. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, so anything we discussed so far, like any principle or any points which we discussed so far, if any question on that, then please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Jay Kumar from Atlanta. I was trying to see one of the points that you mentioned on agenda. Money tips, grocery, online shopping and all that. Maybe when that point come, I have a question, maybe I will ask at that time.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu. We will cover that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay, so can we move forward? Okay. So I shared with most of you, I shared that budgeting spreadsheet few days back, and I hope that some of you are able to work on it. And if not, then I would highly recommend that once we take the break from this session, you do that at whatever best you can, so that it gives you some meaningful insights into the coming session, because then you can talk with real numbers, because otherwise it will all be theory for you. You will not be able to put it into practice. But if you have done that budget exercise, and as you move along, you can put real numbers and you can calculate your own goals and you can calculate your own plans as you move forward. So I would highly recommend that as we take break after this for a couple of hours, if you've not got a chance to do that, let's do that in that break. So why budgeting is important? So as we have been discussing so far all along, that a person has both need and wants, and it's very subtle. It's very hard to differentiate between need and wants, because sometimes we get confused between these two. So as I said, like after some time, wants become needs, that I cannot survive with it, I have to have it. And then it becomes very hard to budget. Because let's say you budget for something and then this desire arises in our heart for something which is not needed, but we definitely want to go for it. So then you have not budgeted for it. So then you can't, whatever budgets you make, if you keep falling into that trap of spending on unnecessary things which is not budgeted, then it's very hard to budget. And let's say if you don't have budget at all, then you just keep on spending as per your wants, because then you don't have that sense of that, hey, I don't have money. Because there is no budget, it means that you have all the money to spend. And then, as I said, that most of the time we spend emotionally sometimes. The example which I mentioned about the devotee who spend on treat, and then we try to rationalize the purchase, and then people rationalize their wants, that this is needed. We can come up with so many arguments that yes, this is needed, this is not the want. So let's prepare for spending. And again, this is the principle of our acharyas, like Srila Prabhupada himself has followed budget very strictly. We have seen the diaries of Srila Prabhupada where he has noted down each and every day account of expenses and donations or receivables he was getting in New York. Every account is there, that opening balance is this much dollars, this much up to a cent, and this much is the received in charity and the end of the balance. So he used to track budget like that, up to a cent, up to a penny. So it's not something that we are doing which is not needed. We are just following into the footstep, and we need to have the budget, because without budget, we cannot manage finance, personal finance, or any finance for that matter. Those who are in any position in temple or something, we have a budget. Any corporate have a budget. Any government for that matter have a budget. So without budget, you cannot manage anything. So in budgeting, then we have two things. One is regular monthly expenses and another is annual periodic expenses. So in that spreadsheet, I have two sections. So regular monthly expenses, like all your bills, rent, grocery, all those kind of you are spending every month, that comes into regular monthly expenses. And anything which is periodic, like your property tax or your car insurance or your children's fees or anything like that, those comes into our insurance premiums, those comes into periodic expense, because they don't come every month, but they come at a certain period in a year. And then once you have the budget, then next thing comes is actuals. Because we may set lofty goals for ourselves that I will spend $400 on grocery, I will spend $200 on utilities, I will spend this much on that. But if your actuals are not matching with that, then that budgeting exercise is of no use. So then we have to compare with the budget regularly to see that we are on track or not. And we can overspend on one category if you underspend on another. So goal is that overall monthly level, you should remain on that budget. So if you set a budget of, let's say, 2,500 per month for yourself, monthly expenses, then let's make sure that we stick into that budget on a month-on-month basis at an overall level. So you may spend more on grocery in some month, but you may underspend on some other category in that month. So like that is okay, but you should not go beyond your overall budget. So target is overall remain below budget, under budget. So if you do this exercise, we'll be amazed to see how much and where you can save, because how much you can spend, because once you do this exercise, you will know where are you spending, and then you can start looking at the items or the corners where you can save more. Because right now, if you don't have a budget, you don't even know where you are spending. So whether it's spending on your necessities, you are spending on your wants, or even if on necessities, are you spending more than what is needed? So then we have to start looking into that. If you're not able to save, then where I'm spending more and where I can cut. So once the budget is in place, then it's very easy to figure that out. And in corporate world, whenever I did this exercise, since we are in person, I used to give them 20 minutes and ask them to do it live at there itself. And at the start of the session, everybody kind of come up with saying that, okay, we don't have any money to save. Like almost everything is there allocated in some head or other, like in spending. And then by the end of the session, when we redid this exercise, everybody was able to come up with 10, 20, 30% of savings. And especially with families, it's a very great tool because now we are not controlling the wants and needs of one person. We are controlling the wants and needs of multiple people. So if you don't have the budget, it's very easy to go haywire, because other family members will have their own wants. And if we spend emotionally, and if you are not having budget, if you are not in control what we are doing, then it's very easy to go haywire and spend not according to our needs. And the bottom line is, if you can't measure it, you can't control it. That's the bottom line. So to control something, you have to measure. Like we measure counting of rounds. Why? Because we want to make sure that we chant certain rounds every day. Now, if somebody says that if Prabhupada would have said that chant as much as possible, then nobody would have chanted more than 2 rounds. Because there is no measure to it. So if you measure it, then you can control it. So we have to put this measurement in place. So that's why budget is very important. And ultimately, again, what it is called in finance terms is that zero-sum budget. Zero-sum budget means, like we have this profit and loss balance sheet of the corporates. Some of you who are aware of it, that the left side and right side is always the same, right? So zero-sum budget means that whatever you are earning, whatever is the earning, each and every dollar of it has some head against it. So there is no free money available. So it is to be allocated to some category, like either you are spending, either you are saving, either you are giving charity. So it should be allocated, so that, because once you have the free money, then you start thinking what to do with that, and then you get into all kind of wrong decisions. So, but if you have the budget and if you allocated your dollars, each and every dollar to some kind of category, some activity, whether you are spending it or you are saving it or you are giving charity, then automatically all those dollars will be put to work. So you will not be in a situation that, hey, Prabhu, I got $20,000, what to do with that? Let me buy some property, let me do this, let me do that. No, we don't want to be in that situation, because again, that is not, that way you will lose the peace of mind, because you don't want to get into that kind of situation. So if you have the zero-sum budget, then everything becomes like automatic. It's a hands-off approach, that every month dollars are coming, every month dollars are going at their destination. And then we are at complete peace of mind. We don't have to deal with any of that anxiety. So once we have the budget, then the first thing comes is the bank accounts, because as we are earning, we have to keep money in banks. We can't just keep it under our mattress. So everybody deals with bank accounts, but again, how can we deal with bank account more efficiently, so that we are not giving our money to bank to earn on our money? Rather, we use bank just as a tool to keep our money safe and keep our transactions simple. So bank should not earn from us. We should earn from the bank. So that should be the thing. But in most of the cases, bank earns from us. So like they keep your money at 0% interest and they lend that money to 3%, 4%, 5% interest to other people. They are making money. So we don't want to do that. So let's see how we can achieve that. So there are 2 types of accounts. Everybody is aware. the checking account and savings account. So once we have created the budget, so now just see how budget is important for each and every step. Okay, so it starts from here, right here. So in your checking account, what you want to keep, we want to keep regular monthly expenses. So you did your budget, you find out my regular monthly expenses are X dollars. So we want to keep that X dollar in checking account because every month I would be spending that. We keep it with some nationwide banks so that even in case you move, then you have the access to the bank because it's your checking account. So you may need to visit branch sometimes, though it may not be necessary in today's world, but still. And link all your utilities, homeowner association, credit card bills by auto pay to this checking account. So all your bills should be auto pay. That is another way to reduce your stress and anxiety. So once you have that, then, and you already budgeted, you know how much you are going to spend on certain categories. So that flow will be there. Every month you will get your money in your checking account and all your bills and everything will be paid from that account and it will become a monthly cycle. And then you should have a savings account. So savings account, what we need to use it for? Not to park hundreds and thousands of dollars there. Savings account is not for that. Savings account is for to keep all my yearly periodic expenses. Right? So in budget, we talked about two things, regular monthly and the periodic annual. So in savings, you put all your yearly periodic expenses like property tax, insurance premiums, things like that. And on top of that, you put some emergency cash and any extra short-term saving, like you may have some saving for 1 month or 2 months extra. So that you can keep in savings account. And we'll talk about emergency cash in a while. So these money for these two categories, you put in savings account. So that's the only money which will keep it in bank. Checking account, 1 month expense, running expense, maybe little over 10-20% more than that. And then in savings account, all periodic expenses and emergency cash and any short-term extra saving. So checking account, as I said, you can open in any nationwide bank, it doesn't matter. For savings account, open it in an online high yield savings account because savings account, you're not going to withdraw every day. You're not going to write checks from it. You're not going to do transaction every day from it. So you don't have to go to any brick and mortar bank for that. You can open that account online bank, which doesn't have any branches. Why? Because they give you more interest. So like currently they are offering from anywhere from 0.6 to 0.7% to up to 3% interest on savings account. And this 3% interest is given by a bank called HM Bradley. So this bank is an online bank, FDIC secured, so no gimmicks here. So the way they work is that if you save up to 20% of your deposits every month, then on whatever deposits you have up to $100,000, you earn 3%. So you can open account there and earn the 3% interest on your savings. Whatever your emergency cash or other savings you are putting, even on that you can earn up to 3%. And another thing, as I said, we want to earn from the bank, not the other way around. So make sure that you don't pay any fees for any service to bank. There are ways to avoid it if you find it. So don't pay any fee for monthly account maintenance. Open the checking account which has no frills. Like either most of the checking accounts have either one direct deposit per month or $250 minimum balance, and you can avoid monthly fees with that. So go with that minimum no frill checking account. Don't go for a checking account which has all these features which charge you higher deposit or higher fees. And then checkbooks you can get free based on your relationship. And then don't pay any fees. Make sure that you have enough balance in your account. And again, if you have the budget, then it's very easy to follow that. And yeah, and wire transfer and those fees you can avoid if you talk to them. And especially these online banks, they are very flexible with that. And here is the bonus. So this is the link. I will share the presentation, so you will get the link. So if you visit this link, you will get all the promotions which banks across the nations are running to open checking or savings account. And then you can get bonus like $200, $300, or maybe up to $500 just for opening a checking account. Keep it open for 90 days, 120 days, and you get the bonus. And then after that, you can close the account. So you can make use of it and earn some more and use that for Krishna service, because it's very easy. It's free money, and it just take around 20 minutes to open an online account. No need to step out of your home. Just use the links and deposit, direct deposit, fulfill the conditions. And once you get the bonus, you fulfill the conditions, you simply take all the money out in your regular savings or checking and then close the account. So those who are in Illinois, it's from Chicago. So I did some research. So currently very nice promotions are going on. Like Associated Bank is giving $500 for depositing $500 in direct deposit. Then there is First National Bank, which is giving $600 again for depositing up to $2,500 in direct deposit in 60 days. And so there are many such banks. So you can open like as you feel comfortable, maybe up to 2 accounts, 3 accounts per year. If you open, then you can easily make up to $1,000. And then we can use that for charity and Krishna service. So that way we make money from bank and bank make money from us. Okay. So then we talk about the emergency cash. So in emergency cash means basically that we have a source of income right now, and that source of income is stopped abruptly overnight, especially those who are salaried, that let's say job loss. So you are earning every month, you are relying on that every month I will get a paycheck, but all of a sudden in 1 day notice, you get to know that from next month paycheck will not come. So in those kind of situation, then we don't want to get into panic mode. We don't want to get into any kind of anxiety. We don't want to get into any kind of trouble. So to prepare for that, we have to maintain emergency cash. So it is a must have first step for everybody. If you don't have that emergency cash, then first you should save towards having this emergency cash. So if you are in a stable salaried job, then recommendation is to have up to 3 to 6 months of monthly expenses, because that will cover. And in this period, then you can find a new job or new source of income, and you can deal with that period in between when you don't have any job or any steady income peacefully without any anxiety. And again, it depends person to person. Like if you are having 2 jobs, like both spouse and are working, then you may have some more flexibility that both of you may not lose job at the same time. So then you can go for less, but recommendation is up to 3 months expenses. So again, budget comes into picture. If you know the budget, then you can easily make this decision that how much is my 3 months or 6 months monthly expenses are. And for self-employed or business people who don't have any regular income, then they may have to go for a bigger emergency cash, because they have irregular income. And because let's say for many self-employed people, due to this pandemic, for months and months, they don't have any source of income. Like people like artists or performers or, those kind of people, they are completely out of job and they don't have other skills also. So in such situation, it may be little more, like up to 1 year of expenses. And then, as I said, that keep this in the high yield savings account and not used for any other purpose. So this emergency cash is used to be touched only in case of emergency, not for anything else. So please in mind, it is not your extra saving which you can spend on your wants. It's only for emergency and used only for emergency. Okay. So I will just briefly touch upon this next, and then we can take maybe 10-minute break for any questions and answers. So once we are done with our budget, now we have the bank account categorized and organized in a way which is aligned with our budget, and have the emergency cash build up to take care of any job loss or income loss, temporary income loss situation. So now we get into how to invest this money. Like after doing the budget exercise, now you get some idea about how much you can save, or if you don't have any idea or you are not able to save, we will discuss how to save further. So how to invest that money which we have saved. So the number one principle, or the number one, the most deadly tool you have for this is the compound interest. And in middle school, we all have gone through this formula. In Hindi, it's called Chakravradhi Byaj. I like that term very much, Chakravradhi. Like it's like a spiral. It keeps on increasing and growing and growing and growing. So that's how it's named in Hindi, Chakravardhi Byaj. So this is a wonderful tool to grow our savings over a period of time. So, and again, as I said, it's a middle school math, no complex thing here. It's very simple. So just to refresh, if somebody forgot it, the formula is amount is equal to principal multiplied by 1 plus r to the power n, where n is the number of years. So again, we from math background, we understand that exponential. So this power n is the exponent. So the higher the exponent, the graph would be like exponential graph. We have read all that, right? We will see that by actual example also, but I'm just sharing the formula for now. So for example, just to give you an idea, that 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, but 2 to the power 10 is 1024, and 2 to the power 16 is 65,536. So 2 is a very small base, but if it has a power of 16, then the same number 2 becomes 65,536. So that is the power of n, that is the power of exponent. So just in example, let's say if there is a principal of $10,000 and this money in 3 years, let's say 10% interest you are getting on it. So for 1 year, 10,000, very simple math, you will get 1,000, right? $1,000 interest. So in 3 years, if you go by simple interest, you will get $3,000, like 10,000 in first year, 10,000 in second, 10,000 in third. So total 3,000. But let's say if you are having a compound interest means whatever the interest you get from the first year, that becomes the principal for the next year. Whatever is the amount plus interest in the first year, that becomes the principal for the next year, and that keep on going year after year. So with that, in 3 years, this becomes 13,310. So with simple interest, it was only $13,000, but with compound interest, it's 13,310. So you got that extra $310 just in 3 years, just on $10,000 due to compounding. Now, the same formula, if it reverse, then we come to the compound annual growth rate. So that is the percentage, that how much is the percent. So the same formula, we took out the interest on the left hand side. So this is again a very common term in personal finance, and you should remember this term, that CAGR in short form it is called. And this is the real rate of return on any investment product which we may have. So like CAGR on bank accounts, we can say it's 0. And then whatever investment we will talk about in going forward, we will look it in terms of CAGR, like how much compounded annual growth this particular product or this particular investment is giving me. The higher the CAGR, better the product. So the beauty of compounding is that it works automatically, but the discipline is upon us. Because as I said, that is exponent is n, the number of years. So that discipline is very important. So it's just like bhakti. So again, relate this principle with our bhakti, with our sadhana. So in discipline is very important in our bhakti also. And it is said that it takes up to 12 years minimum, like as per yogic science, it said that it 12 years minimum to see any fruitful results, like fruitful result in the terms of actual change. Like many a times we hear this complaint that nothing is happening. I am practicing for 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, and nothing is changing in me. So that change happens slowly. It doesn't happen overnight. Provided we follow the discipline consistently, regularly, day after day, month after month, year after year. So same goes here. If you invest, if you save every month, invest every month, month after month, year after year, in something which gives you good CAGR, then it will grow. Then it will give you result. But if discipline is not there, then no result. So we just have to follow it like our sadhana. The more sincerely we follow the sadhana, the more chances of we will get the mercy and we will get the result. Similarly, same principle applies here. And we have to do our hard work to get there, because if we will not got the inherited lot of money, a lot of property, or a lot of wealth, and if we are doing from ground scratch, then we have to do that hard work to get there. Okay, so just to see it in with a graph, the power of compounding, as I said about that exponential graph. So you can see here that red line, that exponentially it's growing. And this graph dissipates that at the age of 22, let's say somebody is just out of college and start earning $60,000 per year. And he saves $6,000, that is 10% of it, in some investment where it gets 7% return every year. And then if you see this brown line, then he do that up to age of 50. He invests $6,000 per year up to age of 50 every year without missing a single month. And after that, he is investing because our goal is to retire as 50, not at 60 or 65 or 70. As per true Vanprastha age, recommendation is that we retire at the age of 50. So he stop earning at the age of 50. He invests $6,000 every month in an investment which gives him 7%, and after that he stopped investing. So his investment grows, like by the age of 60, he has over $1 million. It's as simple as that. So just by saving $6,000 per year, that is $500 per month, from age 22 to age 50, that is 28 years. By the time he reaches age 60, he will have $1 million, more than $1 million. So this is the power of compounding, devotees. And this is the only and the most important tool in personal finance. Discipline and compounding. So once we understand this, then only thing left is how do I find that thing where I can get 7% return per year. And we will talk about that next. And I want to leave at that point. So we will find out and we will talk about it, where I can find that thing where I can get 7% return. But if we are understood this principle well, then this is the thing. Just by simple, like little saving, little investing, month after month, year after year, with very strict discipline, we can very easily and very comfortably reach our goal. Okay. So with that, I would pause here, and maybe we can take questions for next few minutes before we end this first session.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Nand Vilas Das from Seattle. You mentioned it that opening a multiple accounts in saving accounts would say, but will that not impact the credit score?
No, it does not. Only credit cards impact the credit score. Bank accounts does not impact credit score.
Okay, that means we can open as many accounts?
Yes, there is no restriction on that, and they just verify your identity, which is called as a soft pull. It is not a hard inquiry. So number of checking accounts or savings account have no negative impact on your credit report.
Okay, only taking a credit cards is impact on that. That's
yes, right. If you take more multiple credit cards, if you apply every month, then that will impact your credit report.
Okay.
But so Prabhu, on the same note, if we close that account after some time, that also doesn't impact. Is that right?
Yes, that is right. Opening and closing does not come into your credit report for as far as bank accounts are concerned.
Okay.
Because you are putting your money, you are not taking any credit.
Okay.
Right. So that's why it does not come into credit report.
Yes,
because credit report deals with what you own to others, not what you own yourself.
Okay, so here we are giving business to them. So
we are giving business to bank. That's why they are giving you money. They want your clientship. They want that you do banking with them. That's why they are giving you that incentive. But we can act little smartly, and then we can use it to our advantage, rather than switching our banks every now and then.
But Prabhu, being devotee, is that fair? Like, switching accounts, taking advantage and closing it on?
No, it's a normal thing. It means we are not greedy. We are not speculating. We are not doing anything illegal. We are not doing anything wrong. Bank is promoting. They are putting out flash on their website that, hey, come do business with us. And they are putting the conditions, what you have to do to get the bonus. They are putting the condition. So we are following those. So we are following perfectly all right. See, just that if you are going and taking advantage of sale, it doesn't mean that we are doing something wrong. It cost $100. I bought it for $10. So do you feel cheated? Like, do you feel that you are doing some cheating or something wrong? No.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, I think as you mentioned earlier, like some of the principles was keep it simple.
Right.
Okay, but like, if we start doing this one in this material world, you end up just opening an account, closing an account, opening an account. Is that going to create more like mental tension and materialistic nature?
I'm not saying that you do this every day. I said twice or thrice, maybe up to twice a year. And I said it takes half an hour. So just spending 1 hour in a year, if you get $1,000 or $800, who earns $100 per hour, $800 per hour?
Thank you.
Yeah, so I understand if you do it every day, every month, then it's a problem. I'm not saying you do it every day, every month. You just do it once in 6 months.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Srinivas Maharaj is here. There are so many WhatsApp groups on financial WhatsApp or the Telegram groups on financial things. Maybe a devotee group should also be there. Maybe somebody like you can suggest in that which bank to open instead of everybody putting the brain. One just follow.
So that's why I said, like, checking account you can open in any nationalized bank. That doesn't matter because we are just keeping 1 month expense there. We are not giving any more business to them. So the convenience is the criteria there. Savings account, I said any online yield, high yield account like I said HM Bradley is there, which gives the maximum as of now 3%. But otherwise Discover Bank, LE Bank, all these give 6.6% to 0.7%, something like that. So you can go with any of those. And for these bonuses, I shared that link. So that link lists down everything across the nation, state by state and nationwide. So you can just browse through it once in 6 months, see if there is any current promotion which meets your criteria and you can fulfill those conditions. And then you can just apply for it.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So keeping simple. I don't want you to go search for here and there. Look, every day you are searching on net where I'm getting the bonus and all, nothing. We want to keep it as stress-free, as simple as possible. So that's why that link is there. So you don't have to go any other place.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. This is
Yes.
Sanjay from Naperville. For budgeting purpose, do you recommend using those, mint.com or those websites where
Yes.
they do
Yeah.
it?
So yeah, very good question. So yeah, initially you can make use of those, and because it doesn't hurt. It keeps you disciplined and it gives you the very ready-made snapshot of it. And over the period of time, it will become your subconscious thing. So you don't have to even think about or tracking your budget, because for me at least, initially I set out a budget, I followed it for a few months, and now I don't even look at my budget. Don't look at my monthly statements for that matter, because now it becomes my thing that I spend according to my needs, and I know where I'm spending, how much I'm spending. So that fear is not there that, hey, I'm spending over or I'm spending under or things like that. But make use of those tools till the time you get there. But again, use tools which are free tools available. There are many. So make use of those.
Thank
you. Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my
Yes.
Mohan Lilidas Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you were speaking about trying to retire by age of 50.
Right.
And potentially thinking what do you want to do at the age of 50.
Right.
Are you going to touch on the topic later? Because especially for people who have children who may not be going to college by 50 or whatnot, what should be our idea or whatnot?
Right. Yeah. So that 50 is the ideal situation. And as I said that somebody who just started working at age 22, 23, and if he start following this, then he can comfortably retire at age 50. But some of us who are late, already in our 40s, and we are not there, then obviously it's going to take time, because again, as I said, compounding n is the number of years. So since we lost few years already, so now we have to do the catch-up work, and that catch-up work maybe for some 5 years, for some maybe 10 years, for some maybe 15 years. So it depends on individual situation. So, but the idea is that we give this particular thing to others, especially to our children, so that when they start their life, they at least make sure that they retire at 50 or before that. So we may not got it early in our life. We may have missed few years. We may have to work extra to compensate for that. But at least we can make sure that we pass it on to the next generation, both in our home, in our community, and the people around, so that at least they can make their life successful. And today's youth is not like the youth of 60s or 70s, where they had money, but their goal was something different. Today's youth is mainly concerned about money. Their only concern is that how do I earn more, and how do I get the job? That is the main concern of today's youth. So if we add with this particular knowledge and with this particular tips and planning that, hey, this is what you can do with your money as you start working, and that gives, if they follow it, and that gives them confidence, and if they retired by 50, even though we are not retired by 50, if they get retired by 50, I think we will get the benefit of that sukruti of that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. But there is nothing like a better late than never. So wherever we are, we can start from there.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is HG Gopal, Seattle. So are you going to talk about what kind of credit cards we should have? Because there are different varieties of credit cards.
Yeah, credit card management, we will discuss all about that.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So,
Hare Krishna.
One question when talking about budgeting. So I find that variable expenses, how do we deal with them? Variable things are variable over every month to month, and also.
Yeah, so in that, like you get the yearly number, let's say your variable expenses altogether are $20,000 or $15,000. So you divide it by 12. So in your monthly budget, then you can direct that particular amount every month to your savings account. So in a year, then you will have that particular amount saved already to take care of those expenses.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So that way that you, whatever salary you are getting, you can bifurcate from that point itself. You can put your salary is split into two, checking and saving, and then accordingly that money can get split into respective accounts.
Oh, got it. So is that how we handle unexpected expenses? Also, we assume something like, for example, car repair might come, so I need to plan for something like that.
Yeah, so that comes into emergency cash. You can tap into that for a time being, and then you can replenish it. So let's say this month you met with an unexpected expenses of $1,000, and so in coming months, since you are still earning, you are in job, so you replenish that $1,000 into that emergency cash pool as soon as possible. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, 401k money you put it into the periodical. So is it expense or just for the budgeting purpose?
It's for the budgeting purpose, so that you know that where it is going. Yeah.
Probably one more, like you gave example of property tax putting into the saving account, right? But there is a concept of escrow also. So keeping it in escrow is better or saving account is better?
It's the same thing. Means if you already have a escrow account, then keep it there, because again the idea is that again in that you can put monthly, like every month you
monthly
can
deductible part of the EMI goes.
Yeah, right. So that is also fine. Idea is that you just save it, plan for it and save for it, like rather than getting a shock at the end of the year.
Escrow is the same thing. Keeping and saving and or escrow, it's one and the same thing. To me, it is great thing. We don't have to spend anything. It's one and the same. From saving account theke bar karo ya escrow theke bar karo.
Right.
You're trying to fool me, I think. As if I don't understand.
Yeah.
But Prabhu, savings account will give some interest, right? As you said, that high yield saving accounts will give some
right. So so that's what escrow is not mandatory. If you can talk to your lender, and if they are okay not having escrow, then that is fine. Personally, I don't have escrow for myself.
Prabhuji, high yielding saving means where is that? Like in saving account, do we need to check with the bank where they will give that high yielding?
Yeah, high yield means the interest. Yield means interest they are offering. So high yield means high interest. So normally in today's time, banks are offering almost 0.01 or something like that interest on savings account. So these online banks offering at least 0.6%, 0.7%. So that's why they are called high yield savings account.
So for that we need to switch to different bank, or is it
No,
in the every bank it will have?
No, as I said, like either if you are comfortable with HM Bradley, then that is 3%, that is the maximum. Otherwise, this Discover, LE and Capital One, this gives around 0.65, 0.7, 0.55, something like that. So you can open in any one of them, like not all, just one.
Okay,
yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Radha
Hare Krishna.
From Austin, Texas. Prabhu, instead of putting in bank accounts, why not put in mutual funds, Prabhu? This amount on a regular basis.
Yeah, we will discuss about that. This amount, as I said, it's for emergency cash. So you want to keep emergency cash safe. Emergency can come anytime, right? And this yearly periodic expenses, it's very short term. You may have to make this expense in few months, let's say. This tax, insurance, and these things. So these are all like you want to keep it absolutely safe, secure at your fingertip. Whenever you want, you can get. So that's a minimum amount. I'm saying you keep in savings account. Rest all, definitely we are going to invest. This is the only amount we want to keep it in bank.
Okay, that's good, Prabhu. Again, one more question I have, Prabhu. So every time we change the bank for opening a new account, we have to follow up with our employer also, right, Prabhu?
Yeah, so it's for me, it's just online link where I have to update my direct deposit information, put new routing number and put a new bank account number. That's it. It just takes 2 minutes. And the only thing is that you have to just keep a track when to start direct deposit, when to stop direct deposit. And sometimes you may have to transfer from this new bank account to your main bank account, because your direct deposit, your salary is going into now different account, but your expenses are into your main account. So you may just need to again schedule an online transfer that once money comes into this new account, it goes back to my primary account. So this is little bit thing you have to do based on what offer you are availing and the condition, like how much money they are asking you to put in. But I think that it's worth. If you are a little bit organized, it's worth.
Thank you,
Prabhu, this HM broadly, if you don't have a direct deposit, they still keep your account?
No, you can keep the account, but to earn 3%, you have to have a direct deposit. And again, amount is not a criteria there. You can have even $50 direct deposit, that itself qualify.
Okay.
And I hope that your employers may allow, like in my case, there is no restriction how many accounts I can deposit my salary to. I can have 4 or 5, as many accounts as, so I can split by dollar amount, that 500 goes into this account, 1000 goes into this account. So like that, you can mention that $50 goes to HM Bradley. So that is also fine. So at least on a emergency case, which you are not going to use until emergency is struck, you get safe 3% return that even no mutual fund will offer you. Save 3% in short term, month over month.
Prabhu, there are some credit unions which offer good high yield as well. Do you have to recommend them?
Yeah, that are also good. Credit unions are also good. They offer good interest and low loan rate also. When we come to home loan, I will discuss about that. So that is fine. So only idea is don't keep it in a bank account where you are getting 0. Because I came across few devotees after last session that they said, Prabhu, for last 6-7 years, we are just keeping it on a checking savings account and earned absolutely nothing. So at least don't do that.
So Prabhuji, I have a question. Prasad.
Yeah.
Actually, as you said, there's 7.5 rate of investment. Is it like a insurance policies or pension policies you're talking about?
No,
something?
We'll cover that, Prabhuji, in coming session. I will talk in detail where and what.
Okay.
We will get that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Prabhu, this is Nataraj Krishnadas from St. Louis, Prabhu.
Yes.
I have a question, not my personal thing, but we have some money stacked up in the temple account. So currently it is sitting idle. Will you be touching on that subject? Like, suppose I have some money there, how do I invest that? Like,
right.
I tried a couple of times, like we tried a couple of times before this COVID, but we couldn't get a good interest rate because everything came down because of the stock crash. So I was looking at like some place where we can safely put the money because it's temple money. I just want to get interest. That's it.
Right.
So something like that.
Yeah. So like I said about personal account bonuses, similarly, there are business account bonuses as well.
Okay.
So you will find the information about that on the same link. So if you open business account, sometimes you may get up to $1,000 or $1,500 bonus as well.
Okay.
Depending upon expectation is that since it's a business account, it's dealing in high numbers, like at least $10,000 deposits or $5,000 expense per month, something like that. So if it fits into the criteria of temple budget, so at least that is one thing you can follow, so that at least we can generate at least some extra money for the temple account. And other thing is that it's a business thing. So I don't think that any bank account offer, I need to research that if they offer any high yield saving interest on business account. Because what I have told so far, it's about personal accounts, not for business accounts.
Okay.
But I will make a note of it and I will research this and I will get back.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, did you say we should be keeping the emergency funds also in the savings account?
Yes, in savings account, which earns some interest because emergency can struck anytime. So we don't want to risk with that money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I am not able to follow the chat. So is there any question in chat which is not answered? You did not ask?
Prabhu, last one is very interesting. The question is, the HM Bradley gives such a high 3% yield. Why versus the others are giving just 0.6 or something like that?
Yeah, I read that.
It's some catch there or what?
No, yeah. So that's why I said that it's a FDIC insured bank. Your funds up to 250K is secured by federal. They follow our philosophy. So again, this is the thing, very interesting thing, that we should associate or we should do business with or interact with the people who follow our philosophy, who aligned with our values. And their value on which they build up this bank is that they want to encourage saving. That's why they have a condition that of all the deposits, if you save 20%, then we will give you 3% interest. So they want to encourage saving. That's why they are offering that much. And they are able to offer that much because they think that once you are able to save that much and to get the high interest, you will keep that savings with their bank. And the more stable funds they have with them for a longer period of time, they can generate higher income from that for you to pay 3%. While in other regular savings account, you can take money in and out any point of time. So banks have to maintain higher liquidity in that case. So, and they don't have any philosophy that you save more, so we give you more. But in HM Bradley, like they have 4 tiers. They start off with 1%, like I think 0.5% or 1%. And if you save 5%, they give 5.5%. If you save 10%, they give 1. If you save 15%, they give 2%. And if you save 20% or more, they give you 3%. So they also start off with 0.5, where the normal banks are offering. Only if you save more, they are giving you more. So there is no catch here. It's FDIC secured, and so there is no catch here.
So is it, Prabhu, like if I put $100, I have to not take out $20 from that? Is it?
Yeah. So if you deposit 100, then you can take out up to 80. If you keep 20 with them, you will keep earning 3%. So the way it should work, I will give you some practical tips so that it doesn't become complicated. So first of all, you put your emergency cash into that because probability of taking out emergency cash is very less. Okay. And on top of that, you start putting some small deposit, let's say $50, $100, which you don't want to withdraw from it. So it means that you are not taking out any money from that account unless there is some emergency. Simple. So you are always into the 20% bracket, and then you are always earning 3% on your emergency cash.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Arjun from Atlanta. Like when you say direct deposit only comes from your employer, right? Like a salaried employee.
Right.
So do we have to, like the full direct deposit of that salary should go to the bank, or is it only part of it can be go?
Partial, which meets the condition. There is no full. They don't know how much you are earning, and they don't bother about how much you earn. So they have the condition. Let's say put 500 deposits in 60 days or $2,000 deposit in 60 days to qualify for the bonus or something like that. So based on your income, you can split that into 60 days or 90 days, whatever the condition of the offer is. And partial is the way to go. They are not concerned about your full paycheck.
And I cannot, like from my personal bank account, I cannot do a direct deposit to that.
No,
bank, right?
no. Direct deposit means coming from the employer, social security, pension, things like that. Not like your personal one account to other account transfer. That does not qualify as direct deposit.
Dhanvat Prabhuji, Premashar Prabhu, Jai Shri Prabhupada. One question quickly about annuities and compound interest-based retirement vehicles.
Right.
Would you be covering those in the future?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. We have a whole section on retirement investment, so we'll cover that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Shivdas here from Mandaline. So this interest that we get from the saving account, is it taxable?
Yes. Yeah. So another interesting point. Yes. So all these bonuses are also taxable. So you have to report it on your return. You will get 1099 INT form from those banks, and then you have to include that in your return.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more question, Prabhuji, when we talk about budgeting, like you said, we have periodic expenses and then we have monthly expenses. So when we save that money in checking account and saving account, we are doing it monthly basis, right?
Right.
So let's take an example. I want to save certain amount in saving account. So I will distribute it in 12 months, and based on that, I will deposit there, right? And similarly for monthly, it is based on monthly basis.
Right. Right.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Yeah, so just to give you outline of the next session. So in next session, we are going to cover like from where we can get that stable 7% plus CAGR return. So I will talk about all the investment options which we have to achieve that. Then the session following that, we will discuss about all the life goals like returning and owning a house and buying a car, how we can go about all that. And then tomorrow, first session, we will cover all about insurance, everything about insurance, life insurance, home insurance, auto insurance, property insurance, everything, health insurance. And then in last session, we will talk about general savings ideas, like day-to-day life, how we can save everywhere. So this is the general outline. Again, it will depend upon how we are going, depending upon questions, answers, and other things. But high level, this is the outline.
Wonderful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Again, another thing is that I will share my contact details. So if you have anything which you can't ask publicly, you are welcome to write to me one-on-one on my email ID. I think you all have here. I will share my phone number in chat. So just in case if you want to reach out to me on WhatsApp or SMS, that is also perfectly fine. So I would be able to talk to you if you have something which you want to discuss personally, which you cannot disclose here. So that's perfectly fine. Okay. So I hope all the questions are answered.
Yes, Prabhu, like all the questions in the chat here, also in YouTube are answered.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I think we are over time, 15 minutes. So sorry for that. So I think we can take a break now and then we can resume again at
2 o'clock.
Yeah. 2 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your association. I'm very, very grateful, and we'll resume again in a couple of hours. And again, like if you're not done the budgeting exercise, get your high level numbers done in this break, so that when we talk next, you will have a very clear idea like how much and where all we can invest and how much you can get out of it. You can calculate your numbers by yourself using that. So that will give you a practical insight into how much and how many years you can get where you want to get. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. A lot of good information. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.